It's a short presentation, so we won't take too much of your time. We'll discuss the top 10 of over 100,000 niche markets that we have on file, and we'll take you through some of the factors we take into account when deciding on niche markets, what the system does internally, basically. These are 7 points. 7 of the most important factors that are taken into account when deciding on the value of a niche market proposed by the ITM, but there are other factors in place. They're more mathematical than anything, but they do have a significant impact on the decision about a niche market at the end of the day, but these 7 would be the most important. So we take, number 1, rising search volume on search engines into account. We're hooked up to all major APIs, and we're regularly monitoring search volume for any key phrase niche. Number 2, we monitor rising mentions in the blogosphere regarding any niche market. We have a database of over 60,000 blogs, 66,000 blogs roughly, and that we index on a daily basis and check for differences in conversations and check for new conversations, check the maturity of old conversations. We do a lot of that to see where key phrases may represent a niche market. We look at articles in article directories. We're hooked up to 3 or 4 of the major article directories like Ezine Articles, Go Articles, Article Dashboard, and a couple of others. And we basically monitor articles over there for any key phrase niches that we find through mentions on the blogosphere and elsewhere. And we also monitor new niche markets developing in the form of articles being written about subjects that aren't in discussion on the blogosphere as well. So we take every single thing into account before we decide which one is which. Number 4, we look at a rising number of forum conversations to do with any niche market. Number 5, we check for a steady number of return conversations. These are comments or triggered threads, etc., in response to older threads regarding conversations that are discussing a key phrase niche. We take comments into account only when the number of comments as well as the contextual relevance of the comments is closely related to the actual key phrase in question. But a steady number of return conversations tends to spark a validity for a key phrase niche. We're able to then sort of monitor it more closely than other key phrase niches that don't have much conversation going on. Medium to low PPC activity. The system checks each and every key phrase niche market that is proposed by it against all relevant terms to do with it on 2 of the major search engines. Medium to low PPC activity is something that sparks another, tick on the chart for regarding a key phrase niche as something that is popular. A lot of people, or a moderate number of people, are investing in it, so it must be something of some value. The last point is we regularly monitor the steady increase in page rank of top sources generating any mentions. So whereas domains may have their own page rank, they may have certain pages that have more elevated page ranks than the domain itself. We look at any source that has a page rank of, say, above 4, and we start monitoring it. So the day we discover a source that has a page rank of 4 or more, we start monitoring it, and we keep a constant check on its page rank. Now this sort of develops over time. It doesn't really develop over 24 hours. So we keep a weekly check on things, and generally any mentioned source that has a page rank that's going up or down is something we record and take into account when we're deciding on the maturity of a niche market that we decide on at the end of the day. When I say we, I mean the software. So that was just to give you an idea of how we go about doing this. These aren't all the things that we do. The software has a number of other algorithms in place, but if you're going to ask us deciding factors, these would be the most prioritized deciding factors. So let me take you into the niche markets then. We got 11 of those at the moment. The first one, that's reverse email lookup. It's something that's shown about 68.8 million broad matches worldwide. Let me just explain what broad matches are. Broad matches is a term that we use not in any relation to search volume. The term broad matches is usually found on keyword tools like Google's keyword tool. When we say number of broad matches worldwide, we talk about conversations, we talk about mentions. So it's a cumulative figure of search volume, mentions and conversations, articles, posts, comments, return conversations, every single thing, and we arrive at a figure that allows us to distinguish and this niche from others. This number basically tells us that you're looking at 68.8 million mentions, search volume, 68.8 million instances of reverse email lookup in one location or another on the web, and the demand's been rising. People have been talking about it more frequently as compared to the last time we found this on the system, and hence it's something of value to us. The trending market segments that you'll find searching for and talking about reverse email lookup are basically in the United States at the moment. We have home diabetes tests. This is something of a product that it's sort of a product niche. We found recently it's registering over 88.2 million broad matches worldwide, and the target market segments are the United States, United Kingdom, and the European Union. Home diabetes tests are probably a lot more in demand in the United States and the United Kingdom. The EU is a bit hard to assess due to the nature of different nature of demand in Eastern and Western Europe, but the US and the UK are probably the top runners there. Next, we have fun outdoor games. It's been the summer, so we've seen quite a spike in search and mentions volume for fun outdoor games. Number of broad matches worldwide being recorded at about 86.5 million. Trending market segments being the United States and the EU, though I would include the UK in there somewhere because we've had some excellent weather so far. Next, we have mind body medicine. Number of broad matches less than the other three, but it's about 52.2 million. Trending market segments being the US, the UK, and EU. We have sales techniques, obviously something very, very popular in both the offline and online marketing world. 87.4 million, something of your area. Now, there's been quite a surge in traffic to a lot of sites, to a lot of blogs, a lot of forums addressing sales techniques. Mind you, sales techniques, when we put the key phrase up here, it's not the key phrase in terms of you wouldn't go ahead and plug this into a PPC campaign, where it references the niche market. So any key phrases we're showing you here are potential niche markets. They're not key phrases on their own. The supplementary keyword research, of course, has to be done. Additional keyword research has to be done using sales techniques as your primary installer. Trending market segments for this one are the US and the UK again. Alcohol addiction, we've made quite a few videos about this now, and I think it's more trending in the UK than anything because we've got a whole lot of bingers out here. But 74.7 million trending market segments, the US, UK, and EU. Obviously a very popular topic. Lots of products out there, and lots of products that can still be put out there. You have ebooks, you have other training programs, video courses, etc. There's a whole lot of stuff that can go on. There's quite a bit of corporate focus on this in the UK at the moment. Lots of government efforts going into alcohol addiction prevention, but there is obviously room for self-help in there as well. So this is a trending niche market. Weight loss meal plan, something that's been popping up quite frequently. It's rising, it's maturing, but it is definitely registering a good number of mentions and search volume. So it registers at about 28.4 million broad matches worldwide. Trending market segments being the US and the UK. Lead capture page, purely the marketing world here. You have both offline and online internet marketing people looking for lead capture pages. Or anything to do with lead capture pages, of course. Number of broad matches worldwide, about 66.5 million. Trending market segments of the US, UK, and EU. Though I wouldn't take the Far East out of it. I think India and these further out southeast are also quite into this niche market, but it's difficult to sort of measure the interest levels over there because of difference in languages and really not much of an not a majority English-based blogosphere out there, so we can't really monitor too well, as the ITM at the moment is restricted to monitoring English-based conversations. The next one is Chinese medicine, obviously a very trending topic. I'm surprised this hasn't shown up in the UK, though I'd definitely put the UK in there as well, along with the US. Number of broad matches worldwide, 62.5 million. Self-defense training. This has sprung up as one of the most aggressive niche markets in the last 2 years here in the UK. We've had a series of crimes. We've got a whole lot of nutters going around. There's been shootings, killings, rapes, murders, God knows what else. And there is huge emphasis on self-defense training in London. I mean, you're probably looking at hundreds of thousands of people in just this London area. And boroughs outside of London who are into this niche market, because security has been a big issue. There have been stabbings, and people are generally very, very scared when they're out. So I'm not surprised that self-defense training has made its way into being a trending niche market in the United Kingdom. 57.26 million. Number of broad matches worldwide, but I wouldn't be surprised if half or more of those are from the UK. Next is identity theft online. This would be the last one in this presentation. Number of broad matches worldwide, 71.8 million. We made a video about this recently. Identity theft is, as you know, fairly popular niche market. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to do something about it, and there's a lot of products there. But again, there's more corporate focus in the UK on this particular niche market than there is in the US. So a lot can be done by the public sector and independent sector to get into this niche market and develop and promote products in. So those are just 10 or 11 niche markets that are the winners at the moment to be deploying products in.